wasting much time moving ahead, I would like to call upon our first speaker, Anand Murthy Raj, who's an Agile coach at Philips, and he's going to talk about enterprise Agile transformation challenges. Over to you, Anand. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, clap for Anand. Give it up for him.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. That's it. Let's do a small exercise before we start. Okay? Can all of you lift your right leg and turn it anti-clockwise? Right leg, turn it anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise. While you are turning, raise your right hand and start writing 3. So now, start writing 6. Okay, we will reflect upon this activity as we go through. Okay? Good morning, my name is Anand and I feel currently I'm playing an Agile coach role at Philips. Philips is undergoing a transformation, enterprise transformation, and I've been engaged with Philips since the last 1 year. I've also conducted a lot of scale-up trainings. Probably, I think I'm the one who's got maximum number of trainings in India. So far, it's about 600 now. Yeah. So today, we have a very interesting talk about the Agile coaching challenges in enterprise transformation. I know what if you are playing the role of an Agile coach or aspiring to play, so I'm sure this will be of great interest to all of you. First of all, what's enterprise Agile transformation? Enterprise Agile transformation is alignment of all departments across the organization to meet the organization goal. Each organization today plays a silo role. We want to have everybody run together. So it's alignment across the organization to involve employee morale and retention. We need to increase the employee morale and employee engagement. Otherwise, transformation fails. It's a redefined ability for organizations to react more effectively to the dynamic changes you see in the market. Today, change is something which is very constant, and if you do not change, you probably are going to die. So, Charles Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest has also changed. It's survival of the fastest. It's an opportunity to innovate and bring meaningful business value to our customers. Hope all of you have traveled to the airport and we have our famous Cardigan Junction. A junction which is straight, now it is crooked. What a wonderful business value we have got. What was taking 10 minutes is now taking 20 minutes to go. It's an opportunity to move from an IT mindset to a customer mindset. That's one of the biggest things in the transformation. Start thinking about budget, start thinking about scope, start thinking about schedule, start thinking when our customer starts using what we deliver. So it's a phenomenal shift from an IT mindset to a customer mindset. It presents the whole organization to start thinking alike. It eliminates the silo mentality. The DevOps culture is one of an example to eliminate the silo mentality. So this transformation means to get rid of those silos and start thinking together as an organization to deliver customer value. And it is the creation of an environment that fosters learning by failure and experimentation. This is something that many organizations don't like. They don't like to fail, and they don't know what is experimentation. Everything, whatever we do for the first time should be amazing, but it is not possible. We'll talk about that in a couple of slides. So what is Agile coaching? We've all heard about the word coach, it is associated with sports. So this is a game that we are going to play, a game of experiments that we are going to do to ensure that we deliver value to our customers. Retrospective is nothing but an experiment that we do in one sprint to make sure how we play better in the next sprint. So Agile coaching is a pure flavor of coaching and mentoring. When you say mentoring, it's generally one-to-one. And when you say coaching, it's one-to-one plus coaching the whole teams. It's a journey. Coaching is not something that can start in January and end in June. Coaching contracts are only 6 months, that is meaningless. It's a journey of about 6 months, it's a journey for about beyond 6 months that helps the organization, teams to understand what is Agile and the discipline involved in the transformation. it's an enabler to improve the performance and to deliver meaningful value. Coaching is not just teaching people. It's making people realize the value what we can deliver. It's building the inner strengths. I was just reading LinkedIn yesterday and they said, managers are people who put fire at the back and leaders are something who put fire inside. Something like that. It also involves helping individuals becoming good professionals, not just in profession but also in real life. It enables, this is the biggest problem we have. This is what Peter Drucker had said. Coaching CEOs is very easy. Teaching them new skills is very easy. But helping them undo some of the old skills is very tough. We are all creatures of old habits. So we don't like to get rid of the old habits. So this is the most challenging thing. It is helping the individuals to undo certain behaviors and embrace new behaviors. And finally, it's a journey to help the teams deliver the best to create the maximum customer value. This is what I have learned during my Agile coaching and transformation experiences for the last few years. The first stage is what is called Agile success. Agile success. The reason why it is like this is because I cannot move from my comfort zone and I will resist the change. I hate change and I hate failure, fear of failure. I don't know what will happen. I don't know what others will think about me. I don't know what will happen to my appraisal which is 1 year in from now, so I always worried right from day one. Next step. Agile does not work for us. First, there is no other option. The management has sent a mail saying that now have to transform into Agile. There is no option. So the second level of resistance is transformation challenges. Agile doesn't work for us. It doesn't work for us. Why? There is a small desire that starts, but I am still afraid of failure. I am still afraid. I don't know what will happen to my appraisal, what will happen to my rating, how much help will I get, and I am afraid to fail in front of my people. That's the problem. The step 3 is a small bit of acceptance now. Agile may work for us, but not for our organization. It may work for us, but it doesn't work for our organization. These guys, I've heard people talking in groups. This management doesn't have any other work. They invest money on transformation. It may work only for small teams. It doesn't work for us. The next step is a little bit of more realization. When the whole world says it works, it must work. Are we doing something correct? Are we doing something wrong? So it is, Agile works for us. Let us try to see what is there in it. A whole desire. And finally, this is what is the tip of point. And once you reach here, once you start seeing it, it is something like think will excel and start learning about Agile. Throughout this, you see, this is the steps. So what is the concrete that is holding it? It is the leadership support and the belief system. If the leadership support is not there, the entire transformation will fall. One word after 1 year, you get your leader and say, what kind of hard work you are doing, guys? Finish. The transformation is there. So up here it is something like I don't want to change, but here it is something like I want to change. This is the most important thing. Leadership believes in Agile. The belief is very important. So what are the coaching challenges in these stages? First step here, build belief in Agile. It is very difficult for us to tell Agile works. There is no acceptance. So you need to build the belief in Agile. Allow the teams to fail. What should the leadership do here? Protect the team. Guys, don't worry. We are in a transformation. It's okay to fail. I understand it's something new. I am there to protect you. If this is the message what the leadership team gives, the transformation starts, ignites. If the teams are not being protected, they will only focus on their individual success and there is no transformation. The second step is, again there is leadership. Continue to protect and trust your team. Don't just talk trust, show trust, lack trust, get out. Come to the place of work and then build trust to the teams. Teach. What is the Agile coaches do? Teach. Let the teams experiment. Let the life improvers germinate. This is the butterfly metamorphosis. Let the life start germinating here. Third step, again there is leadership. start focusing on improvement, building the rising culture in the organization. Let the teams see and feel the change. What did Mahatma Gandhi say? Be the change you want to see. Times have changed. Now see the change you want to be. You need to see the change. If you don't see change, you won't believe in it anymore. And teach the principles behind practices. If you teach people about standard proud, it's a mechanical 15-minute meeting without a purpose. Whereas we need to start teaching the principles behind the practice. Why it is only 15 minutes? Why you should start up? What is the purpose of asking the 3 questions? From there to get genuine, start talking about that. And in the last stage, in stage 4, leadership should empower the team. Start believing the team, trust the team, and say you take decisions on behalf of my customer. And coach on Kaizen with Kata. What is Kata? It's a systematic way of learning things. The scientific way of learning things is called Kata in Japan. When coach to help, we remind all coaches and be inspiring. As coaches, we need to be inspiring. Body language is extremely important. And finally, coach the teams to take care of each other's fate. As a team, we should care for each other's fate. It is where that kind of coaching is required. Finally, this stage, real team is formed, and coach the team to become customers' eye, and finally let the team decide what's best for the customers. So these are some coaching stages that practically I have seen how things might start working. What works here may not work somewhere else. So we have to make modifications. So what are the challenges in leadership coaching? I said the foundation is leadership. So what are the challenges? I can briefly divide the challenges into something called belief system, something called the anxiety systems, and something called the adoption system. Belief system. How many have read David Tuckman's book? Only one. I strongly recommend all of you to please read the book. It's an amazing book. This is what he talks about. He tells the whole business is dependent on your belief. जैसे विश्वास वैसे व्यवहार, जैसे व्यवहार वैसे व्यापार. The way what you believe defines your behaviors. The behaviors define your business. If the leadership team does not believe in Agile, the behaviors change. Once the behaviors change, the business change. The transformation fails. In Agile, organization fails. Second one is called the anxiety system. The entire leadership team is very, very eager and very, but their anxiety levels are very high to see what is happening. What they do is, this is what is called taking the camera. They put one camera and start measuring what is happening inside. The moment you poke the pupa, what happened to the butterfly? What happened? Dead. Transformation is dead. You need to give time for the pupa to come out and become a beautiful butterfly. This is the transformation journey. Please do not poke the pupa. This is what you need to coach the leadership team. You should help them understand their anxiety. Finally, this is what is called adoption systems. The entire concept of Scrum. If you read a book by name Toyota Kata by Mike Rocker, you will really understand the history of how these Scrum principles have been evolved. It's a fantastic book. It will cost you $350, but you can give it to your children as a gift. It's a wonderful book. Buy the book, read the book. The principle behind the 3 questions. The principle behind 1 week, 2 weeks sprints is everything based on how Toyota has developed a continuous improvement process. That is what is called Toyota Kata. And that is what we need to teach our leadership team on adoption systems. Learn how to adopt the new changes, environments. Whatever we do, right? Workshops, value stream mapping, and our action item list will not take us anywhere. It will not take us anywhere. You need to learn the art of continuous improvement daily. Something like a new concept like daily retrospective. Every daily stand-up meeting, you have daily retrospective. You don't do a retrospective meeting. The culture is there in us where we keep on improving on a daily basis. A scientific way of improving is what is called as Kata, and that is what we need to do. Some of the key areas where we need to focus on leadership coaching: transformation from delivery to customer. We are always worried about delivery. Always worried about delivery. Even the leadership team comes across little bit of schedule. and leaders should start asking us, how satisfied is your customer? What are the improvements you got from your customer? What are the feedback you got from your customer? This is the language that we need to start talking. Change from managing to leading. We've had enough managers. The industrial revolution created a lot of managers because there was a notion that people are fools and we need people to manage them. So they evolved managers. Today, we have proved that we are not fools. We have a lot of good cognitive skills. So we don't need managers anymore. We need leaders to lead the change. Manage the flow. It is extremely important to understand the concept of flow. People who have attended the same training must have heard about the principles of product development flow. Right? Any idea when this concept of flow started? And who gave this concept of flow? Any idea?
I read the book, I forgot the flow book.
It's not that flow. The concept of take something and end-to-end continuously develop and deliver as quickly as possible. Who gave this idea? It was Ford. When Ford was manufacturing their big models, car, they were only manufacturing one model of the car. And the demand was so much that they wanted to do very quickly. That's when they started developing their 6-floor factory. And every floor they did not have places to kind of have the components produced at every place. So they created holes in the floor, in the roof. They took pipes and they were kind of producing the raw materials at the top and then pushing it down to the assembly line so that there is a flow. Unfortunately, when Ford started manufacturing multiple models, they could not manage the flow. And Toyota picked it up in 1950 and mastered the art of flow. So we need to start to manage the flow. Second one is encourage failures as learning opportunities. Today we are afraid to fail. 90% of the people in the organizations are afraid to fail. We should start creating a culture of failures or opportunities. And advocate the behavior of ask your leadership team, can you put your failure in my hands? If the answer is yes, it's an amazing place to work. If the answer is silence, then you know what is the answer. Right? That is the kind of trust that we need to build in the organization. The leadership team should say, I need to put my career in your hands. If that is the place that they can talk, I think it's an amazing place to work with. And finally, visualization of flow. Unless you see, you cannot do it. Human body is full of chemicals. Unless you see certain things, chemical reactions do not take place. The urge to do something only comes. In the last lap of the marathon race is the place where they're running fast. Why? They see the target. When you see the target, automatically energy starts. You are not tired for the whole marathon. But the moment you see the target, you start running. So unless you start seeing things, you will not visualize the amount of work you're doing. So what are some of the coaching challenges for the teams? As I said, it has to be a flow. The coaching has to be a flow. But when there is a problem, there is a challenge. The moment the challenge is not addressed, it gets converted to anxiety. The moment there is no addressing of anxiety, there is tension, frustration, and the entire environment becomes hostile. We cannot stop challenges. We need to learn how to deal with challenges. In today's world, challenge is something that keeps us motivating. But if we don't try to eliminate the challenge, put a simple model like this whenever we face a challenge. Ask the question, what? So what? Now what? What? What's the problem? So what? What is the reason? What is the problem with that? Now what? Now what we can do? Let's start doing it immediately. It's a simple technique. Apply it in your life. It will help you a lot. It is helping me a lot. Many times. Whenever there is a problem with my wife, I apply this model. Simple logic. It helps me. It helps me a lot. The moment if you do not address this, the entire organization will go back to the old way of working. Because we believe that whatever worked sometime back will work even now. But it is wrong. The environment is different. It doesn't work. The biggest problem when you deal with people is dealing with behavioral change and principle. Behavioral changes are extremely difficult to deal with, and then discipline is extremely difficult. As a coach, always believe in this way. People are already doing their best. The problem is with the system. It's not with the people. By throwing a person out, telling that you are a bad performer, the problem will not get resolved. The problem is still there. We need to improve the system so that performance is improved. only management can change the system. Not all of us. As agile coaches, please don't go and change the management. Don't change the system here. You can't do it. You will have to influence the leadership to change the system. Don't ever try to deal with policy, organization policies. You will be literally beaten. Don't do that. So what should we need to focus as agile coaches? See, this is a system of character, process and results. Always focus on building the right character in people. Always try to focus on building the right discipline in people. Show them the process of how to do things. Help them understand the principles behind the process. And then automatically they achieve results. We don't achieve results as coaches. Don't try to take any credit from them. Right? Give the credit to them. Show them, build them the character, show them the process, show them the way, and results automatically come out. So let's spend a couple of minutes here to understand what this means. There are two ways of working with people. A system that was developed by Anand Smith, where the focus was efficiency, and a system developed by Karl Marx, where the focus was on more meaning. So what is efficiency-based work system? Karl Marx said, in a factory, if you want to do a fantastic job, divide teams into groups, give them each piece of work, and make sure that the efficiency of individual in that area is maximum, so that they become masters in that group. That exactly work for factory systems. Even today, if you go to factory systems, a typical manufacturing line, you see the Anand Smith way of working. But in the world that we are living, where we develop complex systems, Karl Marx system will not work. You need to know the meaning behind why you are doing it. Developing an instrument, you need to know how that instrument is going to help patients. You need to know if that instrument is going to help save life. What is the meaning behind it? If we understand the meaning behind our work, we know the purpose behind our work, our engagement levels will be very high. So in today's world, though Anand Smith's model has really done a great job, it is Karl Marx's model which can take a better place today. These are a couple of quotes that I am very inspired with. When you coach, don't coach theory. Coach practical wisdom. So practical wisdom is a combination of moral skill and moral way. I was just standing there in the morning and there was this guy sweeping the floor. His job is only to sweep the floor. But he did not sweep certain area because people were standing there. He took a decision on his own. That is what is moral way. He waited for 10 minutes. When we continued to talk for 10 minutes, he came back and said, "Sir, can you please move, sir? I need to do my job." But for the 10 minutes, he did not take a decision. So he has been empowered to take the decisions there. That is what is moral skill and moral way. So the good news is, you don't have to be brilliant to be wise. But the bad news is, without wisdom, being brilliant is not enough. So you need to know how to coach your teams with practical wisdom. There are two methods that we learn wisdom. First by reflection, which is noblest. Next by imitation, which is easiest. And third by experience, which is the bitterest. All the automobile companies take the second and third copying data. They did not be successful. What they did was they just took the practices. They didn't see what was the principles behind it. So what happened? They failed. They didn't improve that data. Just want to talk a little about this. I have still a 5 minutes time. This is by far the most powerful model that I have applied in teaching leadership teams. And if you go and see David Patnaik's speech, you can really understand the value behind it. Okay, I'll just give a little glimpse of what he says. Who's a leader? A leader is a guy who takes a group of people and shows them a promised land. Hey, I'll take you to a land where there is happiness. Come, I'm going to take you to a land. Let's work together to develop a product which is amazing. That's a promised land. In the Western culture, there is only one promised land, heaven. But in Indian mythology, there are 3 promised lands: Swarga, Kailas, and Vaikuntha. There are 3 promised lands. What is Swarga? Swarga is a promised land. Who's the owner of Swarga? King of Swarga? Indra. He's a very rich man. He has fire, wind, water, and treasure, everything with him. But what is his problem? Any asura does some sort of an yagna here, it becomes business, competitor is coming, business. So what he will do? He will go and tell Rama, go unleash yourself there. Right? He does that. He is always worried about competitors. what is their capacity and they walk away. Human beings are not like that. I need food, my children need food, my grandchildren need food. So our hunger is different. Right? So the hunger what I talk with Indra is, my hunger matters most is what he tells. Others only if I am satisfied I will give. His second promised land is Kailas, full of ice, but there is a bull. So if you see the family photo of Lord Shiva, you have Shiva, Parvati, the bull is sitting here, the lion is sitting there. There is no afraid in their faces, they are all calm and cool. And then you see Kartikeya with peacock, Shiva with snake, and Ganesha with rat. The lion eats the bull. Both are happy, there is no fear. The peacock eats the snake eats the rat. But they are all happy. There is no problem of here, fear and hunger. So Lord Shiva has overcome the hunger. But Mother Parvati is very, very afraid. She cares a lot for her children. So she takes the form of Annapurna and she feeds the whole world. Come to the third land, Vaikunth, Lord Vishnu. He's a man who takes multiple forms whenever there is problem in the teen area. He has taken 10 avatars so far. They are waiting for the 11th avatar. He has taken 10 avatars. Whenever there is a problem to his team, he comes in a different avatar and removes the problem and goes back. That is what is leadership. So if you see here, for my hunger matters most, only if I am satisfied I will give you. Second one is, Lord Shiva says, I have overpowered hunger, nothing to worry here, come to me, you will be safe. But if somebody disturbs me, I will open my third eye. What does Vishnu say? Come here, your hunger matters most. If leadership teams think like your hunger matters most, that is where Lakshmi sits. She sits at the foot of Lord Vishnu and multiplies there. That's where your business can grow. That is what I mean by belief defines your behaviors, behaviors defines your business. So if you coach the leadership team with this and say that believe Agile it works, if you constantly believe, transformation is success. If not, transformation fatigue. Okay. So any questions?
How difficult is to manage the middle management in the whole transformation business? Because a lot of managers in different organizations are getting converted to Scrum Masters. Is that a right path or has it been done?
You need to coach the middle management to a great extent. Suddenly they become project manager animals. It is not that problem. The problem is in the leadership team. The leadership team, Monday morning they come to office, the product manager badge is removed, the Scrum Master badge is issued. And they are never told how to change the way. They are just told, okay, you are Scrum Master, you are responsible for delivery. What's the point? So you need to coach the leadership team first. Then the leadership team should coach the middle management. Why not managing the middle management is the most toughest part. Sometimes you can't even talk to the leadership team, it's a different issue. Teams, okay, there is no other option, they listen to you. Again, they don't care for principles, they are only worried about practices. So that is a problem. But the middle management is the biggest problem. It is something like Govita Kuttana Darkanaka. They are afraid to do this, they don't know how to do this, what shall I do? It's the biggest problem. You need to do with it by coaching them, by helping them. But again, the moment you see that they become Scrum Masters, the guys at the top will tell, hey, you're a project manager. Show me the delivery. It becomes project managers. It's very difficult. It has to be both the middle management and the top management. Both have to be dead in parallel. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. When the Agile is getting adopted into an organization, when it is into its main form, what happens is there is a lot of rejection, there is a lot of acceptance, mixed emotions and things like that happen. But in this form of Agile, the team tends to undercome it. How to motivate them as a product owner to commit to their capacity so that the velocity remains stable across.
Okay. It is the environment which is a problem. It is not a problem with the people. People are doing their best. Only the system is a problem. You need to address the systemic problem. You have to communicate till you are pissed off with your own communication. This is what Jack Welch had said. Whenever there are challenges, whenever there are transformations, whenever there are confusions, the leadership team has to communicate till they are pissed off with their own communication. The more you talk to the team, the more feeling you show to the team that I'm going to protect you, then you see the transformation terminates. The moment teams feel that they are pissed off, they are afraid. Simple example. is working great, teams are doing fine. One of the management guy comes and says, why are you logging only 6 hours per day? Finish, your transformation is dead. Because we only focus on making 9 hours per day. We don't care for developing as a team, caring for each other's fate. Because my fate is at a problem, let me take care of myself. So that kind of protection is required, especially in the initial stages in the transformation. They need to talk, they need to say it's okay to fail, let's experiment. The culture has to come.
That is one part of the problem. Second part of the problem is delivery and the goals remain constant. And if somebody is running on an aggressive schedule, then on the delivery, aggressive delivery schedules, then it becomes really a trouble to manage both the parts. As a product owner, you want something to be done, and you also want your employees to be happy, or you want to be performing at their potential.
This is exactly like our bond movie. The guy is going in the car, suddenly there is a water, he jumps, automatically he goes aboard. Real life is not like that. It cannot happen. This is what is called as the transformation phase. The confusion, the challenges that we need to deal in this phase, it has to be a systemic change. Everybody should understand that we will all fail. We should allow to fail. We should say that it's okay to fail initially. Over a period of time, we should learn how to succeed.
Something to add on here. As you mentioned that you were a runner, because being a runner, I remember when I was running so hard in the last lap between the marathon. Similar to that, can we show some value adds to the team, saying that or read the promises that we're going to be there? So, what all value adds do you think we should provide on the journey, or is there any value adds we can give?
First value add is don't poke the people. First value add that I can happen is don't poke a transformation and struggle with it. Don't poke it. The life is dead if you try to poke it. You create a lot of confusions rather than actually helping. You create a problem. Remember the experiment we did in the present. If we are all rotating our heads in the anti-clockwise direction and the management comes and says, okay guys, raise your hand, do 3. What's going to happen? They should say do 6 so that they are in sync. Everything has to have a flow. This is what is flow all over. There has to be a flow.
Then what we can do 3 anti-clockwise also.
You will hear on it. The expectation is rightly this way. Suddenly what happens, you are in out of sync, out of gear. And now they expect you to deliver utmost quality, on time, everything covered. It's not possible. We need to accept the fact that there are failures. There will be failures. We need to give time for people to realize that yes, the only way to lead life from now is to do experiments and learn from it. I strongly recommend all of you to read the book by Gautam. It's called Toyota Kata. It gives you a philosophy of how Scrum has evolved. Some of the principles of Scrum, 2 weeks Scrum, 2 weeks of why. Many questions are asked, right? Why 2 weeks? Many questions asked me. Many teams ask me, why 2 weeks? I do 3 weeks. If you want to understand and help them understand why it is 2 weeks, just read the book. They give you practical examples of how Toyota deals with these challenges. And the famous 3 questions what we ask, it's actually from Toyota.
What's that book name?
It's called Toyota Kata, K-A-T-A.
The book that you mentioned on the
It's from their book part-time. If you don't buy the book, go watch his video in YouTube, free. There are tons of videos from him. Almost all the videos we talk about the same system. Go talk to him. Go watch those videos. It's as good as reading the book. But if you read the book, it is enormous amount of information. But for us to understand how to talk to leadership team, the videos are there.
something for us to understand, like in Philips also you would have done for the organization. So what kind of response you got this now and how is it?
Okay, this is the last question. I think I'm running out of time.
Now, could you write the name of the video on a whiteboard?
Sure. What kind of response you get from the business leaders team, right? Okay. We get all kinds of responses. Agile doesn't work. Agile sucks. Agile doesn't work. Or it may work for some teams, it will not work for the organization. All people who tell it doesn't work spend more time with them. Because when they say it works, then everybody will tell it works. So identify those critical pieces of the equation who actually can make maximum influence and you only focus on them. And you can make a big change. Okay, if there are no questions, then I would like to hand it over to the next speaker.
You mentioned beliefs drive behavior. In your experience, would you like to share anything that you tried to enhance impacts or reach to this management level?
One example that I can tell is the way how one of the director of a particular business unit, he was onboarded new from GE. Off the record, I came to know he quit GE because GE was running Agile transformation. When he came here, he saw the same picture. And the way how he used to deal with the situations, talk to the teams, was something very, very different, full of command and control. So I had to spend a lot of time talking to the team, talking to the director, and actually telling him this concept. And maybe I've spent about, say, 30-40 hours of talking to the director. And whenever there is some sort of a meeting, we ask them to kind of change the behavior they talk, allow teams to talk, you don't have to talk, ask them questions how to deal with it. They let them come up with problems, don't solve their problem. There are a lot of aspects that I hope you all know that 17 camel equation, right? You know that 17 camel equation? An Arab had 17 camels, right? And 3 sons. The Arab died. Before dying, he wrote a will. The first son will get half. This is the will. The first son will get half. Second son will get 1/3. The third son will get 1/9. There's a problem. There's a conflict. All the 3 sons are jumping. They come to an Agile coach to solve the problem. You are not supposed to solve their problem. If once you solve their problem, you will solve the problem for the rest of your life and their life. How do you solve this problem? Simple. Introduce an 18th equation, 18th camel to the equation. You give one of your camel. How much will the first son get? How much will the second son get? How much will the third son get? Add. How much is it? 17. Take back your camel. Take back your camel. That's all. You just introduce the 18th camel, take back your camel again. Don't solve the problem, they don't divide. But if you don't divide for them, you will be dividing forever. This is one simple technique we use how to help teams solve their problem, and you don't get into setting up meetings with some business guys and trying to solve problems. It's one simple technique.
Thank you, Anand. That was very informative and very enlightening.